another Super Tuesday recap. It's Kriss and Dpalm here, and we are back for another Super Tuesday for Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Season 4, Episode 5, Lockup. As Robbie Reyes struggles to control the Ghost Rider, S.H.I.E.L.D. infiltrates a high-security prison to unravel the secrets that haunt them all. Alright, let's go and say this right now. Taking a vengeance demon to a prison, probably not a good idea.
Look, man, they don't know that, though. They don't know what they're messing with. They just know that he can do these things.
No, they say it. They know. They know. No, I am not going to let them go away with it. They knew. They knew that he goes after people that deserve it. You cannot take this guy to a prison. Because they all, almost in theory, they all deserve it.
He can't go after everyone who deserves it, or he'd never get through his day.
You're right. But you don't.
There's some modicum of control has been communicated.
All right, you're right. But listen, all right? You don't have a drug addict. You don't have an alcoholic walk through. You don't walk an alcoholic through the liquor aisle. All right, you just don't do it. All right, you don't
just
give
tell
them
be strong. Be strong. You don't need this.
Right.
No, you can't. You're right. No, I agree with you there. Like, was it responsible? No.
But
was
I also
it
think
wise? No.
But they had to do it too.
Done.
And I don't even mean for the show. I mean, he is the only one that could have dealt with the. I guess, are we calling them ghosts? I mean,
they're ghosts. I made a Ghostbuster joke. Yeah. They made a bunch of Ghostbuster jokes this week. Yeah. I'm sticking with them being a ghost.
Yeah, they had to bring him because he's the only one that could. What else can you do? And Robbie, just keep a chain on you, yo.
Man. I don't know why we got to find chains every time. That seems awfully inefficient.
Yeah, just keep one on you, man. Just sling it around. Your shoulder. Sling it around your shoulder. It's okay. Just walk around with a chain and you're good. And So all right. So let's get into this episode. There's something that you noticed, and I watched this episode twice, and I guess because at the beginning of the episode, I literally was just not paying attention. Please tell me.
You want to do that now, or do you want to save it?
No, because I think that's important. It's literally, to me, I don't even consider this a spoiler or anything like that. It's something they literally put in the beginning of the episode. I'm mad I didn't catch it. I'm gonna go after we finish doing this. I'm gonna go watch it myself to pay more attention.
So they said they found the Darkhold at the home of the last person who had it. Oh yeah, I'll tell this part now. I'll save the rest of it for my theories for next week.
Okay.
The house they go to, and the place they are is a garage. It looks like there's a sign for a traveling circus. If you notice the name, it may match up with the character that we did a character corner on. Johnny Blaze, the character, the circus he grew up in. Name escapes me right now. There's also a bunch of motorcycles and motorcycle parts, and they notably move a leather jacket to get to the book. Johnny Blaze exists. He's either a former Ghost Rider or a current Ghost Rider in the universe they're setting up. Yeah. Or it's just 3 nods in one scene that has the greatest evil in a book in the Marvel universe.
Right.
Or it's like the largest Easter egg that leads nowhere ever. Like, I will be shocked if I don't see a flaming motorcycle before the season's over.
Yeah. No, I'm so mad I missed all that. When you told me, I was like, what the fuck? And it makes sense because, you know why it makes sense? Because why else show that scene? You don't need to show the scene of them digging up the book. I mean, it shows it. The Darkhold allows, it reads the people that have it. There's so many other things you could have done for that. You don't need to go to throw all those things in that scene, and you didn't need to do it at that moment. You could have had them do a flat. You just didn't need it. So you didn't need it. So why else show that stuff? Yeah, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, I want to get that because that's the very beginning. We'll go more into your theories later on, but. Yeah, I thought that was something very, very important that, I missed myself. Go figure. So, they crammed a lot into this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. I'll just run through everything right now. We'll go out and break this out later. Gemma and her polygraph. You have Mace revealing to the world that he's an Inhuman, which 4 episodes.
That made me more sure he's not Inhuman, for the record.
With that and the fact that he's lying about Vienna, which
is
the UN bombing, which is the Civil War stuff.
He's lying about a lot of things, apparently.
Right. You have Coulson and May talking about May dying.
Which he called it. What did he call? She called it a near-death experience, and he called it a death experience.
No, he called it near death. She called it a death experience.
Okay.
Yeah. You have Daisy back in Shield. Well, not technically back in Shield, but using new gauntlets, but also not using her powers because if she does, she can break every bone in her body. You have Robbie. You get more information on Robbie and what happened to Gabe. And we find out some shocking information there, which we'll probably get more on next week when we get more of the origin, which I'm looking forward to. You're getting full Darkhold, which obviously
I can't believe it.
Well, and every season that they do a better and better job of tying in to the movie coming out, and I was like, wait, Doctor Strange comes out next week. How are they going to tie this in? And I'm like, wait, they're doing it. The Darkhold.
The whole season.
The whole season is tie-in. So far has been tie-in to Doctor Strange because the Darkhold is, and we'll get more into that when we do the character corner this weekend. But it literally is a counterpart to something that Strange has. So it's like, it's okay. I'm like, wow, they're just gonna do. So we might not get a special, like huge like tie-in to Doctor Strange because, like you said, it's kind of been this. It's the mystic arts. They're going after a book that contains all evil that apparently even Fury didn't want, didn't seek to get. So you got that. I mean, you got just so much shit, man. So much shit. Where do we want to start at?
Let's start with Gemma, because I think it was really well set up. I thought the scene between her and Simmons and Fitz was really cute when he finally gets her to talk to him.
Yeah. He's like, yo, you can't tell me. I'm already lying enough. Don't give me more to lie about. Yeah.
And he's like, I love how, because he's him and kind of an idiot, he had to try to win the argument. So you're saying it's about the polygraph. And the look, I was like, oh, I've earned that look before.
Right. Abort mission, sir.
Yeah, this is not a good idea. You only lose here. This story ends with you losing.
It's that, I don't know if you saw that Robot Chicken at one time where they basically do the Hurt Locker parody where dude's at the party and he says something wrong to the woman at the party and the dude comes in the bomb suit is like, it's okay. Just listen to me. We're going to get you out of this. And I'm just watching Fitz go through this. I'm like, you're stepping on a landmine. I can't do nothing for you, man. Good luck.
You're going to at least lose the leg.
Right.
You're probably going to limp out of here.
Right. But I can try to save your life.
We can keep you alive.
Oh, man.
But you might lose that leg.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So, yeah. But it's that. And I also love the fact that he called Ada she, and she corrected him. It. You mean it. Which, that's going to come into play later on.
Yo, Simmons don't like people, man.
Well, no. She likes people.
But like she's the original OG and homophobic.
Mm-hmm.
That's her.
And you know what? I like the fact that she's not wrong.
No,
she has a point that, hey, we need to call things what they are. And Ada is, well, a nice piece of technology. It isn't it. You do not start humanizing the artificial intelligence, the LMD. Please do not humanize the LMD. Which, by the way, we're already late for because they don't know. Radcliffe has already taught her that lying is okay sometimes. Which is...
Yeah. And that your life's in danger around humans.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Which are important lessons that you need to know that you learn.
Yeah, you never want to teach AI that. That's just not...
Well, if you're going to teach it, everyone who interacts with it should be aware.
Right.
It will lie to you, and it's scared of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have fun, and then, but people need to be made aware that that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't ease that in there. So.
No.
Yeah, I love that, and I just love the fact. I love that when she was asked, "Have you ever been a member of Hydra?" She's like, "Yes, actually, I was." The guy's like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "I went undercover and I had to lie to be an agent of Hydra." And I'm like, "Oh, that is true."
I'd forgotten, but yes, that's exactly what happened.
that is true. But okay. And I you knew she was gonna fail. I'm not sure what Jeffrey is. Like, I love it. I love his.
I'll tell you what he's not. What he says he is.
He's not an Inhuman.
No,
he can't be, right?
No one. No, there's no. There. Maybe he is. That would be like inverse red herring.
Mm-hmm.
If he were.
Right.
He's got too many secrets.
Well, so
if he were an Inhuman, they would have vetted the shit out of him. He wouldn't have gotten this far with all these secrets.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it could be. Well, yeah. Well, that depends. I mean, it could be that the higher ups know that he's Inhuman, but his staff and people like that didn't know. I mean, that's possible, but everything just seems like it's too often. Like she said, Gemma's the one that knows. And if you watch that scene again, she immediately knows he's lying. She notices it.
Oh yeah.
She immediately goes, "Wait, that's not what happened." Like, and it's the line when he says, about the bombing in Vienna and then shielding that woman. And I'm like, "What woman?" And at first I was like, "What bombing?" And I had to make sure that the bombing, the Civil War UN bombing was in Vienna, and it was. So I'm like, "So you're saying that you were, in Vienna during that time?" I mean, that's easy to check. Should be anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really good that they just slowly and quietly connected the universe to Civil War.
Yeah, and they've been doing that all season.
Yeah,
he dropped the Sokovia Accords again, so I think that again, just like we were saying that they're doing a good job of tying it into this using the entire season to tie in the Doctor Strange. They are doing a good job of tying into the entire Marvel universe. And I'll even say I thought that Luke Cage is the same thing. Like, it feels like, I don't know what's going on in Marvel TV, but it feels like whatever was holding them back is gone.
I mean, you have a pretty good idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's still there, though, so I don't... Maybe
does his phone dial out?
Maybe, yeah, right. Maybe he got a Stern talking to or something like that.
I don't know.
Like, I would not be surprised if we hear in the next few months that Ike is really on the way out. Because the stuff seems way too smooth and together.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah. So I'm very now intrigued. And then you got the end of the episode where he's talking to the senator and is trying to make a deal, and it goes back to, oh man, can we not trust this guy? And it's like, not only can we not trust him, but in a way, Coulson doesn't trust him. Because remember, this entire mission they're on at the prison, Coulson. This is the weird thing about Coulson is basically running S.H.I.E.L.D. again without Jeffrey. No, like at this point, Jeffrey's almost like a figurehead.
That's exactly what he is.
Coulson over here running.
But they kind of acknowledge that in episode 1. He says, "You're the face we needed to be in front of S.H.I.E.L.D."
Right.
You're not necessarily of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you're the one we need up front. Which I don't know. It gives someone who has that much knowledge over him, including the senator, a lot of power. Because he's not secure in his position in the first place.
Right. So, yeah, I love this new wrinkle here. And now you basically had Gemma coming in saying, "I know you're lying about something. And so now you can't give me polygraph tests because I know you're lying about something." And
you don't want them to know that I know that you're lying.
Right. So, checkmate. We're done. All right. So, and now I'm wondering, because here's the other thing too, you got to realize. There's got to be a mold in S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Yes.
Already. Because how did the senator know that that there was an operation going on at
the prison in real time?
In real time. Where did she get the footage from? Like, what's going on here? Like, she has some connection. And then, yeah, we had JT, and, he's still alive, and we have to get that, interrogation going at some point. But how it couldn't just been him on helping them get a hold of the Inhuman list. Like, something else is going on here.
Right.
How is she getting her information, and who's running her? Because the thing, she's being fed something, and she's being run by somebody. So, yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm very. These are questions that happen in these seasons that start off slow, and you're just like, what's going on here? And we'll get a slow burn into what happens with them. But yeah,
I also like that this year it doesn't feel like we kind of know where the season's headed yet.
Right.
Because like if you think of season 2, like it was very much pointing to Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
Is this season 4?
Yes.
It's season 4, right?
Yeah, season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, did I lose you again?
Yeah, there you are.
All right, cool. Yeah. Season 4. Dpalm, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
So season 3 pointed directly, obviously from the opening, to something with Hive. This has been really intriguing because there's a lot of plot threads out there, and we don't know exactly how they're going to converge yet, but we know they are.
Right. I mean, we have Ghost Rider, obviously, the big thing, but it's almost in a way. I mean, he's not. He's the focus, and keep your focus off of the other things that are going on under the surface, because you have this. You have the Darkhold. You have whatever Lucy and them are trying to do, in which she's trying, because she wants her body restored, but then there's something else she wants. She wants to continue on with their work. So it's like, what work are they doing? You have the Watchdogs, who have now become a bigger threat, and this Senator was it Senator Nadir, I think,
who's in bed with the Watchdogs,
who's embedded with the Watch and fighting. And again, this has gone from just being a United States issue to a global issue, because again, when she's talking to Director Mace, she mentions about threats across the world, in China, and back in the United States. Like, there are multiple threats going on, so it's become a global issue, which we know it was when we saw the Terrigenesis and happening worldwide, spreading worldwide through the fish oil. Which again, I got to go back to you. How do you set up a bomb without actually making it a bomb? Put it in fish oil.
It was kind of brilliant.
Yeah, it was. And you now can seed your entire world with mutants and not go. By the way, can I just say, love the fact that the Senator leads the mutant first. The mutant first thing.
Human first.
Human first, and they remind me of the Friends of Humanity so much.
That's exactly what it is.
They're basically doing Friends of Humanity on TV, and they're doing mutants better than Fox ever has.
Or ever will.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by that, and I feel like that to me is the big game, the real game that's being played, and what's going on with that stuff. Seeing that they're pulling these people from the prison and stuff like that. It's that to me is where the focus is going to end up being towards the end of the season.
Right.
But right now we're obviously, and for good reason, not saying it's a bad distraction, but we're distracted by the Darkhold and Robbie and everything else going on with there. So, yeah. Which, by the way, we learned some interesting things about Robbie. We learned about the apparently him and his brother were shot at. It was a hit.
So let's talk about Robbie this episode. So we noticed last week he got kind of conscripted in the SHIELD.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just some old school Coulsoning.
You're with us now.
What? You could burn it out, but you'd fall out of the plane. Damn it.
I love it. He was like, he's starting to grow on me. Like Coulson is just...
Coulson, he's trapped. I know that's why he's growing on me.
It's like what May says to Daisy later on in the episode. It's like, yo, he's not going to go up on you. It's like, it's Phil Coulson. Like, you ever meet that person who you're in a bad, shitty mood, but their smile's infectious, and they're just so cheery, it can't help but cheer you up too. And you're just like, God damn it. I wanted to be sulking right now. What the fuck is wrong? And it's just, that's Coulson. And
see, you just put it perfectly because when May said that, I was like, yep, Coulson is super annoying.
Yeah.
You leave me alone? I would, but I don't want to.
Right.
So what are we doing next? Like, God damn it, Coulson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what we'll get to Daisy in a second, but yeah, that's what kind of latches him onto Robbie. He's like, oh, this guy seems to keep being mopey.
Mm-hmm.
He's growing on me. I'm like, Jesus. Just take something serious for 10 seconds. So I liked how they use him. I liked how the conversation he and Mac had, where Mac's like, you're my responsibility. He says, I'm my own responsibility. My uncle can't know what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And the little look that Matt gave him, like, all right, man, I misjudged this guy. Like, obviously, again, pun intended, burns away some of that goodwill before the episode's over. But in that moment, you could see him, like, if not becoming part of the team, but at least being open to working with the team.
Right.
I love that he took the way he took out both those ghosts.
Mm.
And the fact that Matt kept making Ghostbuster puns.
Yeah.
Which he's not wrong. By the way, Mac, you're fighting a ghost, just free advice. Don't throw the shotgun axe. I actually think you should never throw the shotgun axe because I know you throw axes sometimes, but this axe is a shotgun attached. Maybe you shouldn't be throwing the projectile weapon, you dick.
Maybe he was out of bullets. Or shells.
Sure, whatever.
Come on, man. You can't tell me. Granted, yeah, it was against a ghost, so you shouldn't have done it. But you can't tell me the idea of Mac throwing the shotgun axe like a tomahawk. Because he's a massive man. By the way, can we just talk about that? How he's a fucking massive ass man, and he's throwing he's throwing a fucking shotgun axe. So yeah.
All that stuff being said, we got our first hell no of the season out of Mac when he saw that needle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, man. Listen, still miss Trip, but I'm glad Mac's around, man.
Yeah, glad Mac's around. But let's stick with Robbie for a second. So Robbie sees one of the gang members who he thought came after him, lets him go at the beginning. As they're making their escape at the end, not so much. Mm-hmm. Do you think that was Robbie, or was that the spirit inside him, or was it both, you think?
No, well, so that's what I was thinking. I think this is one of those things that, we'll go back to what I was saying in the beginning, bringing a vengeance demon to a prison is a bad idea, because I think that it was, I think it was a little bit of both, but I think that the Ghost Rider is that it made it so he couldn't turn away. Like it's that it was. I think it was just, and I love the way they're doing this with him. It's almost like he can't help himself as much as he tries to keep it down. This is something we saw when we were doing the character corner on Ghost Rider. That there's sometimes when the host is strong enough. Like remember when it was the World War Hulk thing where Johnny Blaze went after the Hulk as a Ghost Rider, but then the Ghost Rider took back over and was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with the Hulk. He's not the blame here, and the Illuminati is not innocent, so go away. He walked away. I think that's what it is. I think that Robbie and his emotions, like he saw this guy and it definitely sparked something in him, but he couldn't control. Like when he's going past him, he's trying. And he loves his uncle. He's trying to get his uncle out. He can't help himself.
Right.
And I don't think he could. Like I just don't think he had any control over it. As much as he tries to control it, I think at that point it took over.
Could that be how he connects with Daisy over being kind of addicted?
Yeah. 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 I think so. Because I think but it's different though, because it's not like it's an addiction, but it's just something that like you said is you have no control. And I think Robbie doesn't want to admit that he has no control over it, because who would ever want to admit that? Right.
Right.
But I think he's kind of punishing himself, and we'll get more of that next week when they go into the origin. But so here's the other thing too, tying into Robbie. I'm changing my mind on Uncle Eli.
Oh, Eli's a bad person.
Yeah,
saw his eyes light up when he heard that she had the book.
Right, like that's the thing that got me too. I was like, he was like, "Oh, Shield, I'm not going with Shield. I'm not doing it this way." Oh wait, she got the book. Like he didn't even blink when he said, she can walk through walls. He's whatever. Wait, she got the book. All right.
Yeah.
We can. Let's talk. But not only that, but that makes you wonder, like, who ordered the hit on Robbie? It was a hit. It wasn't like a random shooting. Somebody.
Well, was it on Robbie or was it on his brother?
Or was it on both?
We don't know shit about Gabe.
And yeah.
We knew he threw Daisy out.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, we don't know anything about Gabe. Could even reaching out for vengeance against these people, but in the end, his brother did something that had this coming to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I immediately started feeling like it'll be there's no way Eli is good, which again ties back to the comics. You find out that Eli isn't a good guy, and maybe he has some, because again, Robbie says that the vengeance demon he has now is a little bit tied to why is he going after these people tied to momentum and his uncle and things like that. Like, what is the connection? Yeah, his uncle's in jail for beating this guy, but again, like, it's all been kind of iffy on why that happened. So it's like, what is that connection there, and why is Robbie tied so much to them? Like, everything he's done has either been people tied to momentum, or it's been the gang that crippled his brother. Like, this is all related to me, and I honestly think Eli's behind it all. I do.
Yeah.
I honestly think I don't think he's a good guy, and like, even Lucy said to him, she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna continue. You're gonna fix me, and then we're gonna continue with the work we started." And
right.
You could take that we started as her talking about her and the other now deceased other ghost, but what if she also means Eli?
I thought she meant Eli.
That's what I thought.
That's how
too.
I read it.
Yeah, that's how I read it too. So, yeah, I'm not trusting Uncle Eli, guys. Sorry, he is not a good guy. I think he belonged in prison. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna find out next week though, because this show apparently does not soft pedal a damn thing.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. Let's get into Daisy.
Look, Daisy, you can't pick who loves you. I'm saying, and you really can't like teach May. Like, May's like, you doing the like close yourself off to protect people around you. You know I invented that shit, right? Like that's how I get down and shit.
Look, all right, look, I'm loving. Like, look, I loved when we got last season more loving, and the other side of May we got. I did love that. All right, but I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that we're getting tough love. I don't give a shit. Emotionless May back. Like,
that shit was always temporary. That light fluffy May.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was, but I just love it. Like, when she shows up at the end to talk to Daisy, and Daisy's like, "Listen, my armor's fine. I didn't ask."
Yeah, didn't ask.
I didn't ask. It cut so deep, man. I was just like, God damn, May. Like Daisy's literally sitting here looking like death warmed over. I ain't asked if you were okay. It's like, what the fuck, yo? It's like, yo, listen, like, this is good parent, bad parent. Coulson, for all the love and caring and worry that Coulson has for Daisy, May is the complete opposite. She's just a disappointed, you should do better parent.
But that was the plan, because the first thing she does when she sees Coulson talk to her, what'd you say? No, you shouldn't know.
Right.
It felt like a plan.
Yeah, I know, it definitely was. It definitely was. Oh man, I just love it, because even when, like, at one point I thought maybe she said it to Daisy, but she didn't. She said it to the guard on the ground. When the guard on the ground started crying, she's like, "Stop your whining." I'm just like,
tighten up,
and
man.
right, and at that point, because again, you got to remember, this is the first time that Daisy, Coulson, and May have all been together. Like, it was such a subtle thing to happen, but it's the first time. Like, obviously she's seen them, but this is the first time we've really seen them all in a room together interacting, And Daisy looks at Coulson and looks like, some things don't change, huh? Like, cause it's just like when she said stop whining to the guard, Daisy's just like, yeah, this is.
Well, I loved even before that the moment he sees her, he's so happy.
Yeah.
Like I think that Clark Gregg's doing a really good job of playing the nuance. I think that comes with 4 years of the character. First of all, they gave him a shield arm, let him use it again, which is awesome.
Dude, I was so excited. I was like, come on, you guys. You can't show us that shield hand that one episode and never bring it up again. And they brought it back, and he had the shield. God damn it, man. This show. Gave him the shield again. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. But you're right. The way he plays that character, and the nuances with it's tough. And again, the way Clark Gregg and Ming-Na play these two characters and play off each other, I think is a really good compliment. And then you add in Daisy, who is literally, again, I always bring up that relationship is the two parents and the daughter. And the daughter's going through some shit.
Right.
So I love that. And the other thing I noticed in this episode was the scene in the Flash with Jesse and Barry facing off against Mirror Master and Top. I noticed the scene. I think it was the first time Robbie comes up and we see that Daisy's in the Quinjet, and I immediately went back and thought back to the scenes with Lincoln and Hive in the ship going up to explode. And you get that scene twice. Once when Robbie comes to talk to Daisy, and you get it again when May comes to talk to her. And I just thought that was a good indication of where Daisy's head was without even really saying it. And May brings it up. She's like, and I love she did it because just in case you didn't catch the visuals, Lincoln wouldn't want you to do this and be this way. Like he made the choice. Like it just drove it home, and I thought that was a really great thing of doing that. Also, you get this. And the other thing too I like about that scene is you got a compliment. So the first time you get that scene, it's Robbie basically telling Daisy, "Yeah, you are bad news. You do bring this on bring this on people by you. I was doing fine until I met you. Look at what you did in my life. You ruined everything." Right? In the episode, you get the same scene. Daisy's up there again in the Quinjet, separated from everybody else, and May's over here telling her, "You don't have to be alone. This is not your fault." And I just thought that was a great contrast, beginning of the episode, end of the episode, with basically the battling that, and you see what Daisy is facing. You see that she's facing either, the good point, the valid points of, hey, you do kind of bring trouble to people who are around you, versus the other point of, this isn't your fault, and you have people here that will support you. So, yeah, I thought that was great. Also, you got to remember, didn't forget that she couldn't use her powers even though she got new gauntlets. Which, by the way, who developed new gauntlets for her? If you
come on,
she's gonna.
Simmons got her.
Right, I'm gonna develop something just in case you decide to come back. It's like when you're mad in your room and your parents make you a sandwich. I'm just gonna leave it outside your room in case you want to eat. Just in case you want to come through. But you forget that. Well, you shouldn't forget that Daisy became a mini May when it comes to hand-to-hand combat.
Right. And
she doesn't need her powers.
Yo, when she locked that door, I was like, and then the dog, I was like, yo.
Right, and then proceeds, they end up getting the better of her, but it's because there's so many of them, but she ended up whooping most of them dudes' asses, man.
Yo, for real.
Oh, man. Didn't use her power, still whooped ass. Yeah. Don't fuck with Daisy, guys. Don't fuck with Daisy. Anything else I gotta say? Oh, going back to the conversation that we're having, I love that May's always fucking with Coulson. I love that she was smart enough to put the trash can the garbage can tops down before she went up the tube. And Coulson, he was like, "You couldn't tell me this before I did this." He was like, "Yeah, I kind of wanted to see you do that first. Just hop in there and do that." The Taco Tuesday jokes, Coulson, love him. And interesting that May says she saw Coulson when she died.
Yo, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Doesn't want to talk about it, but she saw Coulson when she died. So
I like Coulson being hilarious in the very beginning. Guys, ideas. This is a safe space. That was a funny line.
Can I say, we talk about this very often about shows going, and all the shows have been doing this. Like all the shows we watch and we've been reviewing have kind of gone back to they're changing things. They've kind of gone. Some of them have gone back to the feelings of their earlier seasons. We haven't gotten funny Coulson and aloof Coulson in a while.
Right.
All last season, this was angry Coulson. This was, vengeance Coulson. This was Coulson who he had his jokes and his moments then and there, here and there. But at the same time, you were just like, he's making Taco Tuesday jokes. He was making jokes with Mac when he was chasing after Robbie and Lola. It's just, we haven't had this Coulson in a long time, and I think it's because he doesn't have to, and it doesn't mean that he's any less serious, because he is. He snaps out of it really quickly, when he needs to, but because he doesn't have to be the face of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, or work that diplomatic side, you can just see that he's back to doing what he's always been good at, which is being a really, really good agent who technically is more than just an agent.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I really love the fact that we got that Coulson back. So, all right. Anything else we got before you want to get into your?
I've got two things. I just want to make sure notes I had. Simmons might end up director.
I can see that.
Like every time since she came back from the alien world, she's been a legit badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't just blackmail the director; she smiled at the motherfucker while she did it.
Right, and then walked out on some a team that trusts together. I'm like,
she talked shit on the way out.
Right.
All right, Simmons, I see you. And also, I really enjoyed the little touch of when Ghost Rider was handling his business in the prison. All of the prisoners were like, "Well, fuck this," and close their own cell back. Like, I was like, any part of those problems.
I put in my notes. That's one way to end a prison riot.
Man, look.
I'm gonna lock myself in my cell. Fuck this. Oh man. Yeah. And again, yeah. All right. Your theories from what we talked about. We hinted at the beginning of the episode.
I have two theories, okay. And they conflict. So I'm kind of catching my bets here. Either Lucy hired the hit squad to force Eli to do what they had said, or Eli hired the hit squad because he knew that whatever they did worked, but the power was misdirected.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're using the book to call on the power of the Ghost Rider. I think the quantum accelerator is all red herring. Mm-hmm. I think this is full-blown magic that they were investigating, and that they were trying to harness the power of the Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. Hence it being buried in Johnny Blaze's garage, and when he gets home, he's gonna be pissed.
Who took my book?
Well, not even that. Now the book's being used by people.
Right.
Like, if he has the ability to track down his book, I'm just saying. And then, like, they've gone back to the Particle Accelerator. I think that they called on the Ghost Rider. The power, the spell or whatever went wrong. It killed 3 of them, or put them, whatever. Put one dude in the coma, and Eli was the one left standing, so he took the fall. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't figure out where the power went. Mm-hmm. And either Eli or someone ordered that hit to where we needed you need to draw out the Rider.
Right.
But the question then becomes who killed I guess that's him killing all the gang members, huh?
Yeah, no, that makes sense because, it makes sense what you're saying about Eli being the one that caused the video. Because remember, what Robbie is saying, that he felt like he was trying to get vengeance for those who killed his brother, and that would make it go away. He would get vengeance for the people who put his uncle into prison. Here's the thing: if it's the uncle that needs to go,
yeah.
And again, even then, that shouldn't cure Robbie. But and again, I like that.
But I think that's where another writer could show up and say, the vengeance doesn't go away.
And it makes sense,
you got him.
Right? And that makes sense because remember when the new Ghost Rider series starts next month, but with the Robbie Reyes series started, Johnny does show up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that Johnny could show up, like in the flesh. So yeah, I can go with those.
The flesh.
In the flesh,
as it were.
Right. The
flaming flesh. By the way, I love the effects of him turning into Ghost Rider.
Oh, they're fucking amazing.
The effects on the fire have been really good this season.
Well, here's the
thing. And also them landing a Quinjet on the other plane.
Okay,
that
so
was great too.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I will never get tired of how awesome that looks. The stuff they do with Zephyr 1 and the Quinjets, like, it's movie quality. Like, we talk all the time about how great the flash effects look like, and they look great, don't get me wrong. But you can literally take the effects for Zephyr 1 and the Quinjets, and you can pull those and put those into a movie. And you'd be like, okay. Like, the CW effects, they're awesome, they're great. Some of them are even better than some of the effects we've seen in some movies. Not naming any names. But they still look like CW effects, right? I mean, every now and then you see them, you're like, hey, these are great. Still TV effects. The Zephyr 1 and Quinjets, no. That's movie quality. You could take those scenes, put them in movies, and you would never know. Amazing. Love them. Love them. Love them. Yeah, got anything else you want to say about this one, man?
No, I just think the show, man, it's really well done, and I think that something I just realized is that by the time Robbie figures out that the kill was a hit, he's already murdered everyone who could have given him information.
Yep, that's exactly what he figured. Yep,
it's a great twist, and it's something that you don't realize upon first watch, but that can really play out and add to guilt for the rest of the season. Because apparently it's not him telling SHIELD his origin, he's telling his brother.
Mm.
So they're going to get a little illumination on that next week immediately.
Yeah.
Which is how this show works. Which is when this show is the best, when it's moving 1,000 miles an hour. I think we're back to that pace. Mm. Because that was a hell of an hour, man.
They threw a lot in there, man. And
they had the director not only out himself as an Inhuman, but get blackmailed twice in the last 15 minutes.
He really did get blackmailed twice.
I was like, Jesus.
How
are you in charge of the
worst
spies?
Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. ever. How do you get blackmailed twice? Fury and Coulson would never allow this to happen. Like, never. Come on. And then your team's out in the field, and you basically gotta find out that your team's out in the field doing some shit twice. Once in the interview, and you get actual proof of them working with the person you're after in Daisy of the person who's blackmailing you. Like, are you fucking serious right now, man? Gonna be interesting seeing when we find out that they've I'm gonna be interested in seeing how Mace deals with the fact that his best field team has gone rogue.
Yeah,
because they really have. They've gone rogue, and they're calling in assets and all this other stuff, and everything's happening, and he has no idea what's going on. That's amazing. Oh, by the way, we spoke about effects. I love the fact that the way that in the interviews, I think this last season, using the cell to as them dropping people in is always going to be like I call it the not TARDIS. It's always amazing.
It's so cool.
It's cool. It was cool the first time they did it, and now they do it often, and it's just part of how they deploy people. It's amazing. It's amazing. The only thing they got to do now is get some kind of transporter. So
yeah.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. That is our recap for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 5, Lockup. You can find the rest of the reviews on movietrailerreviews.net or mtrnetwork.net. Search for Super Tuesday Recap. Leave us a 5-star review or send us an email and we'll read it on air. Also, let me check to make sure. I don't think we got any other emails because everybody sends me stuff and then I get caught up.
While you look, make sure our listeners are also checking out Mighty Sports Show on the network, Unanimous Decision Podcast. Records on Sundays. It's live on Mondays. We bring in guests. We talk about sports. Chris was on a couple weeks ago, making me sad about my life, and more of that's going to happen this weekend.
Wait a minute. I did no such thing.
Come laugh at my pain.
I did no such thing. I did not do that. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Also, I haven't decided, but I've seen it in the Facebook group. I might be showing up for the open audition, but your boy needs to have like a closed audition. Like I don't just walk up and sit with the masses, Chris.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna see. Mr. I've been in movies before. Okay, all right.
Well, you can't be no rookie on this piece, man.
Right, I'll call my agent, Mister. Okay. You do what you gotta do, sir. Hey, you know what? I'm happy for you.
The shoes on the other foot for once, Chris.
I was like, oh wait, is this how that feels? Oh, that somebody humble brags on some shit? Oh shit, damn. Yeah, it does feel kind of weird. Okay, I see how that goes. Also, don't forget this weekend we're doing a character corner on Doctor Strange because that movie comes out next week. So we'll get a quick one in there for the Sorcerer Supreme. So, all right, folks. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.